I knew it the moment we met back at the ruins. I sensed there was something special about you. The fact that Valcerin hasn't stopped talking about you just confirms my original assessment. I'm glad I was able to help you escape that mine trap. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Rite Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sotha Seal creation, as you'd expect. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valcerin's transference spell, the Rite Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Rite Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Under the Rite Master's tutelage, I expect to attain that rank. One day. Why does every high elf think they're superior to the rest of us? Being an Altmer isn't a prerequisite for joining the Psijic Order. The Rite Master saw my potential and honored me with an invitation. I'm proud of what I've accomplished here. I'm not allowed to reveal where you are or how our magic works, other than to tell you that you have arrived upon the fabled island of the Psijic Order, Artaeum. While we're not currently part of Nirn's reality, we still keep track of events there. I could say we have our ways and leave it at that, but you deserve a better explanation. The Rite Master sends Psijics back to the world to perform tasks and gather information. Plus, we have powerful scrying magic that reveals all sorts of details. I was examining the vial of amplification elixir myself just a short time ago. It should be right over there.
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail. Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valcerin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts. We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job. We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl would be helpful. Otherwise, we're stepping blindly into Oblivion's maw here. Pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Somerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of oblivion. We're missing something. But what? I suppose we'll need to find out what's going on in Relenthiel. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valcerin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala's and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the pearls. I may not be a natural prognosticator, but I had a feeling you might. Go ahead. I'll answer what I can. From what I've experienced, an alliance isn't just unusual, it's contrary to their very nature. Oh, they'll work together from time to time, but something as complex as what Sotha Seal hinted at is unheard of. Makes me interested to learn more. Very little, I'm afraid. The last time I passed through that area was more than 350 years ago. They made an exquisite wine, as I recall, and the House of Reveries theater troupe always put on an entertaining show. The augury ritual extracted a vision of the false Aldark and the Court of Bedlam, but nothing specifically about the pearl. Its magic isn't Daedric, though. How they can steal life energy and use it to summon those sea creatures remains a mystery.
Seeking a sip of fine Russifeld Red? Prepare for disappointment. Headed to the famed Russifeld Winery, traveler? Well then, it seems I'm not the only one who'll be disappointed today. Old Hallimorian's been offed by those wood elves. Won't be any wine tastings for a while, I'd wager. Just what I heard from one of the bailiffs. Apparently, some daffy Bosmer called the Ghost of the Green did it, but no one knows for sure. The investigation's hit a snag. Something about the rule of three. Superstitious nonsense, if you ask me. Indeed. Until they find a suitable third investigator, the Juris Reeves and Revelators are left to sit on their hands. Nonsense. Why not go lend them a hand? They'll likely just tell you to go jump into the sea, but it can't hurt to ask.
Progress is slow, but steady.
I could use a break.
Ah, this one has been looking for you. Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Arteum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ugh, that made Raz's head hurt. Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little good comes from dealing with Daedra or their cultists. And this revelation brings you to Relendil, yes? That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so... cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valserin head toward Canon Reeve Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our investigation of the area there.
Drat! Which one could he possibly be? You there. You're new to Relenthiel, aren't you? You certainly look like an outsider. I regret the necessity, but I must beg your aid. My brother is about to make a terrible mistake and join an appalling organization. Worse, an acting troupe. The House of Reveries may be famous across Somerset, but my brother is one of the most gifted academics of our generation. For him to waste his talents performing for rich nobles is just irresponsible. I fear he's already signed up, and that's why I require you as an ally. I'll need you to infiltrate the acting troupe. Laredale, my brother, knows my face, but he does not know yours. You must find him for me so I can talk him out of this. Auriel himself would smile on your kindness. Now, we haven't a moment to waste. The House of Reveries is hosting auditions this very moment. You must present yourself to Alchemy, the audition master, and impress her with your performance. Well, they don't take just anyone. Only the most talented performers even get an audition, but don't worry, I've already devised a solution. I've enchanted a set of knives that will allow you to juggle with perfect rhythm. They would impress anyone. Oh, it's quite simple, really. Toss one in the air and relax your mind. Your hands will do the rest. I've used them a number of times and never cut myself, and I'm about as coordinated as a drunken mud crab. I'm certain you'll impress a sponsor. Laredale and I have studied magic all of our lives, and have found few who match our skills. I knew it only a matter of time before a great opportunity came along, but even I was shocked when we were invited to join the Sapiarchs. Yes, a rather rare and momentous occasion. You're currently looking at the new assistant to the Sapiarch of Artifice. Not a position to be taken lightly. But how does Laredale react to such incredible news? He runs away to join the theater. I have no idea. He just left a letter saying not to look for him. I suspect it's just nerves. I can't imagine leaving my brother behind to rot here in Relenthiel. I need to find him and help him see reason. At first I tried to search for him myself, but Laredale is an even more powerful mage than I. He was able to obstruct any spell I cast to find him. I was able to track him here using more mundane means, but it set me back a month. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what is going through his head right now. For him to even consider wasting his talent on entertaining nobles with parlor tricks, why, it's simply unthinkable. What, and let this madness continue? No, Laredale is both a mage and researcher of extraordinary talents. He would be of great benefit to Somerset, perhaps even all of Tamriel. I just need to speak with him and I'm sure I'll convince him to leave. From what I understand, it starts with impressing a sponsor. A senior member of the House of Reveries selects applicants who they believe have demonstrated talent. They then train that applicant for a final audition in front of the Grand Maestro. It determines if you'll be accepted into the troupe or not. Not that you truly need to worry about that. As long as you acquire Alchemy as your sponsor and are allowed access to other hopefuls, you should be able to find out where Laredale is. In this case, Alchemy is a mer, not a practice. She's a member of the troupe and sponsor to the current potentials. They all have silly names like that. Banter, serenade, clever. Just another complication in our ever-eventful search.
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You think as Canon Reeve I'd be immune to the troublesome temper of a spoiled and rebellious child? But what distinguished visitors I have today. A wandering sage, a well-dressed Khajiit, and you. What brings such a group to Relenthiel? Investigating. For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing. And my intractable son Nadoril and his malcontent friends have been cavorting around the large sinkhole that recently appeared. What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. I wouldn't draw such a harsh conclusion without substantial evidence. I can't understand why they're fascinated with the sinkhole, but that doesn't make them criminals. I suppose 2 high elves and a well-dressed Khajiit can be trusted. Take a look around and let me know if you find anything significant. I just wish my son Nadoril would stay away from there. He's become so intense lately. A phase, I'm sure.
Raz wants to ask the Canon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijik and go investigate the sinkhole.
The Canon Reeve's son certainly seems agitated about something. I wonder where he ran off to in such a state. Well, I suppose we should go and take a look at the sinkhole the Canon Reeve mentioned. That's a rather dangerous and unsavory location for a gathering of young Altmer. The Canon Reeve referred to them as malcontents, who are proud of their heritage. Makes me curious to see what we'll find when we get there. I'd rather not speculate. We'll see for ourselves soon enough. I just hope the Canon Reeve's son hasn't gotten involved with anything too terrible. Children, they can be as frustrating as they are loving. I had a daughter. She fell ill. Even the best minds of the Conclave couldn't cure her malady. She's no longer with us. Enough of that. Let's go see what the sinkhole has to show us.
You would think, with all these wealthy art patrons, I would have more customers. Perhaps if I fancied my cart up a bit.
Dawnbreaker, open the way! Oh, come on! Stupid Daedric interference! I'll be back!
I think we can enter through these roots.
He attacked Eldon, and one of those horrible creatures tore off my hood!
That young woman was certainly in a hurry. And what was that about Nadoral and an attack? Yes, well, let's be on our guard then. I don't think this sinkhole is completely natural. Its size concerns me. If the ground continues to fall away, it could swallow all of Relenthiel. It certainly feels dangerous. And if it does figure into the Court of Bedlam's plans, well, I can't think of a more frightening event than watching Relenthiel get swallowed by a sinkhole. Let's proceed and find out what's going on down here. The walls and ceiling, they don't look stable. I'll try to reinforce the weak spots and catch up with you. Those Yagra creatures. Be careful. The size of this place. It's almost as if someone dug up through the island. I'll teleport closer to the central area and meet you there.
Someone there? Help! Please help! Crazy bastard stabbed me! Gods! This hurts! It was just kind of fun. Joining the Court of Bedlam. Espousing the virtues of our Ultima heritage. But Nadoral, he took things too far. When we heard that they planned to release those creatures, I made the mistake of saying they were insane. Nadoral objected, called me unworthy. That's when he stabbed me.
The Court of Bedlam will eradicate the lesser races. Maybe even deal with our unworthy queen.
Over here. Keep quiet and tell me if you see what I see. You see that, right? My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. That's a sea slode. They haven't been seen in Somerset since, well, it's been centuries at least. A vile and dangerous species. Very powerful. The sea slode come from the distant underwater kingdom of Ulvorkus. Who's that hooded figure with the slode? And look, more of those abyssal pearls. They're everywhere. The slode are a godless people. Perhaps the most hated in Tamriel. And the sea slode are even worse. They employ depraved magic and have long coveted Somerset. They believe it once belonged to them. They pillage, release plagues. They're horrible. The hooded figure could be a member of this so-called Court of Bedlam. At this point, nothing would surprise me. That slode has me worried, though. I can't think of anything worse than an alliance between those foul beasts and Daedric cultists. They could certainly have a connection to the Sea Slode submerged kingdom, but they appear to have been placed down here. Look how the Yagra are drawn to them. I'll head for the Sea Slode. You deal with those abyssal pearls.
Master! Intruders in the cave!
Heed me, my creatures! Destroy the intruders!
That young idiot! We need to get over there.
Witness the power of Katora, the Abyssal Cabal!
Destroy the pearls! We can't let those creatures reach the surface! The Sea Slode and the hooded figure are gone. I'll try to determine where they disappeared to. This way! Up here! Damn! No sign of where the Sea Slode disappeared to. Damn it! I wasn't fast enough. For the time being, let's see what's through that opening. The Sea Slode left us something to remember it by. We need to dispatch that creature. There! I think we can get out over there.
Hurry, this way! Somehow Raz knew he'd find you here.
Sea Slodes! This is worse than the Right Master imagined. Meet me in Artaeum after you talk to the Queen's Eye.
Did the pretty Sijik say sea slode? No, Raz must have heard wrong. That could not have been what she said. Slode? That's bad. And sea slode? That sounds even worse. If the sea slode threatens Somerset, Queen Irene must be informed. We need to act. Wait, what did you say about the Cannon Reeve's son? Daedra worshippers. In Somerset. And Slode. Oh, Raz likes this situation less and less. As for Nedoril, Raz knows how to deal with traitors. This one will meet you at the Cannon Reeve's house.
The Eye of the Queen? How dare you accuse my son of treason? The Queen's Eye? How dare he not identify himself when he first arrived? And how dare he accuse my foolish son of something as serious as treason? The Queen shall hear of this, mark my words. Sea slode? Plus all this nonsense about Altma's superiority, and now murder? I am the Cannon Reeve of Relenthil. I took an oath to serve and protect my community. How in the Queen's name am I supposed to reconcile my son's actions? Oh, Nedoril, what have you done? Please, you must talk to the Queen's Eye. He needs to show mercy. I'm sure we can find a way to resolve this without... Oh, here comes Nedoril now.
To turn me into a god!
Foolishness can be ignored. Murder and treason, not so much.
You and your queen have no authority over a true Altma, you mangy cat.
This one cannot allow your crimes to stand unanswered.
Nedoril! No! No! I understand. Relenthil is loyal to the Queen.
Sometimes the eye sees treason and must cut it out before it spreads. This one is sorry you had to witness that. Blasphemy, treason, murder. How many crimes must one commit to attract the attention of the executioner's blade? Raz decided that a message had to be sent. Enemies of the Queen will not be tolerated. Treason and the Queen's justice are serious business. Raz has been forced into this role on rare occasions, but he never seeks it out or looks forward to wielding the blade. A necessary part of my job, yes. No. Raz will see to the Cannon Reeve and send word to the Queen before looking deeper into the Court of Bedlam. You should return to Arteum and let the Sijiks know what we learned. I tell you, Five Claw, this whole situation makes Raz want to hiss.
Ah, friend of Valcerin. I've been informed that you encountered a sea slode in a sinkhole beneath Relanthiel. That bodes ill for Somerset, perhaps all of Nirn. I fear there are difficult days ahead. I'm familiar with that particular sea slode and its renegades. Call themselves the Abyssal Cabal. I thought I defeated them long ago, but it appears I was in error. What about the pearls? Valcerin mentioned you encountered more in the sinkhole. Val described those seaborne monstrosities. I have a vague recollection of Katora utilizing such creatures in the past, but for some reason, the memories refuse to snap into focus. I suppose that's another mystery I'll need to look into. The Daedric princes require minions to carry out their will, and the Slode have always had an interest in the green and pleasant island. It isn't hard to see why they might work together. For now, you have my thanks for assisting Valcerin. I asked the Conclave of the 11 Forces to ponder how we can learn more from the Abyssal Pearl. With the additional information you provided, I expect that Iridel or Amalira will be able to develop a new avenue of investigation now. The augury ritual revealed the connection to the Court of Bedlam and pointed to trouble in Relanthiel. Now we need to determine where Katora and the Sea Slodes are hiding. The Abyssal Pearl should be able to point us in the right direction. Meet me in the main gallery. We can consult with the rest of the Conclave and use the scrying pool to continue our probe of the Pearl. As much as this situation concerns me, I must admit, I somewhat enjoy being in the middle of the action again.
Right, Master. The Abyssal Pearl. It's gone.
Gone? How? I set the protections personally.
How could the Abyssal Pearl disappear like that? It makes no sense. A few hours ago, we left it in the scrying pool in the main gallery while the members of the Conclave of the 11 Forces went to deal with other matters of importance. When I returned, I immediately noticed that the pearl was missing. Yes, that's standard procedure when dealing with an unknown relic. But that just makes the pearl's disappearance more troubling. Something about this feels wrong. The Conclave serves as the Order's ruling body. It takes its name from the 11 forces of nature that we revere and follow as part of the old ways. The Conclave assists the Right Master with matters of study, policy, and significant research.
See what the scrying pool reveals. There's something happening on the beach.
It's the Yagra. They're invading Artaeum.
The Pearl. Somehow it was used to summon the Yagra. We need to defend the beach.
Wait, is that a sword?
That would be mine. I'm on my way to help. Eventually.
The Golden Knight and his sword can wait. The Yagra are our primary concern. The scrying pool revealed that Yagra have invaded our island. They must have somehow used the Abyssal Pearl to open a pathway. We need to get down to the beach and repel the invaders. The Sea Slode have always been envious of Artaeum and its secrets. From the beach, they can reach the ruins of the College of Sigics, where we store relics and other items of arcane significance. If the Sea Slode acquire any of those artifacts, that's a mystery we can solve after we deal with the immediate problem. We need to get down to the beach, destroy the Pearl, and close the Yagra's portal. Will you aid me in these endeavors?
Follow the Right Master. I'll portal myself and meet you there.
My word, the vision showed us the Dawnbreaker. I'm almost positive.
Let me accompany you.
You need to rally the others. Your friend and I should be able to handle this.
It seems the Right Master prefers your company in this matter to mine. Be careful in there. If the Yagra made it onto Artaeum, I can't imagine that one or more of the Sea Slode will be very far behind. This was once the famed College of Psijics. It dates back to a time when our order was much larger, and we were more involved in the affairs of the world. Now the ruins serve as a repository, a vault to store dangerous items. Iredale believes that the sword was Dawnbreaker, which would make the Golden Knight a champion of Meridia. But let's deal with one problem at a time. It may not seem like it, but this situation has rattled Ichesus. Please keep him safe in there.
We can reach the beach through this section of the old college. Hurry, this way. Before we charge into certain danger, you need to know something isn't right. I remember defeating Katora, but somehow the creature and its cabal have returned. And the pearl, I have a vague memory of moving it myself. I am unsettled. That's just it, the vague memory. It feels as though it belongs to someone else. Forgive me. We can worry about that later. Now, we need to find the Abyssal Pearl and cut off its connection to Artaeum. Only then can we stop the flow of Yagra. Very good. After the Pearl is destroyed, we need to search the vaults and make sure none of the creatures breached the defenses. I tried to examine the area through the scrying pool, but something blocked my efforts. Are you ready to proceed? Now let's go check on the vaults. This way! Hurry! These ancient vaults house relics of great power and unusual nature. I sense... Yes, Keturah is here. Be on your guard, friend of Valcerin. The Sea Slode, or one of its agents. I have a strange feeling, so be on your guard. I can think of a number of likely candidates, including a few relics we believe originated in the ancient Sea Slode kingdom of Ulverkus. Let's get to the central rotunda and begin our search there. Mephalah's Daedra! They sealed the chamber! We'll need to go through them.
Mephalah has sealed this place, mortal flee! Strike now!
Barrier of webs. Burn it away so we can enter the rotunda. Another Daedric intrusion?
My apologies. Daedric interference and Artaeum's own defenses delayed my arrival. Mephalah's webs? Oh, I hate those things! Allow me. Damn it! You found me again! I'll return when I can!
A champion of Meridia? At least he was helpful. Keturah? I killed you. I remember our battle as clear as day.
You remember exactly what I want you to remember. And thanks to the orbs of Brock and Drell, your deepest memories will be mine. Back one, this does not concern the likes of you.
Out here, quickly. We need to hurry if we're going to help the Right Master. It's a good thing I followed you after I alerted the rest of the Conclave. I think I can counteract Keturah's mind magic, but I'll need your help. Keturah is using the power of the orbs of Barakandrel to enhance his mind magic and lock the Right Master in a mental grip. From what I can discern, the Sea Slode is flipping through his memories, as you or I would turn the pages of a book. An ancient implement. 3 matched orbs that our Relic Master believes originated in the Sea of Pearls. We long suspected they were connected to the Sea Slode. Keturah thinks the power of the relic will keep us from interfering, but I have an idea. Take this ward key. It will disable the protections on the repositories so you can locate the Ulvor staff and bring it to me. I can use the staff to breach the barrier and aid the Right Master. Just watch out for any lingering Yagra.
Cease your struggles! Your memories belong to Katora now. Your mind is my mind, Aegisus. Reveal your memories to me. You can't resist forever. The heart of transparent law will be mine.
We're running out of time. Whatever the Sea Sloat searches for in the Right Master's mind, I believe it is close to finding it. Have you brought me the Ulvor staff? Excellent. And it appears to be in perfect condition. With the staff, I'm certain I can pierce the barrier and open a path to the Mindscape, where the Right Master struggles against Katora. Not we. You. I need to remain here to anchor you to the physical world. And you're going into Katora's mind. We'll use the connection between them to put you where you can actually hurt the Sea Sloat within its own mindscape. Katora's mindscape is the perfect place to hurt the Sea Sloat. It's where he's most vulnerable. In a place where thoughts become reality, you'll be able to stop Katora once and for all. Now touch the staff, and go save the Right Master. Touch the Ulvor staff, and enter the Mindscape.